have our co-worker. We do all our comedy together at Rocks. Fridays and Saturdays from 4 to 10, we perform live. Say hello, Ryan Gunner, the captain.
Hey, glad to be on the show.
And, of course, the artist always and currently known as Christopher Wright, the Starlight Collector. Stand up for news. Stand up for news. We'll stand up for you. You can stand up, too. Stand up for news. Stand up for news. All right. Let's just get right to it. Quick plug. Where are you going to be this week?
This Thursday, I'm going to be at Grumpy's Underground in Orlando, Florida. We're doing Drag Me to Stand Up, where we'll have drag queens and stand up, and hopefully we'll have stand up drag queens. And that is at Grumpy's, and it starts at 7:30 in Orlando on Mills Avenue.
Excellent. And me and Ryan will be at Live Rocks Friday and Saturday, performing from 4 to 10 p.m. Chris, you got a quick plug before we get right into our huge interview?
Yeah.
Tommy Chung has graced us to continue a second interview because we only have a half-hour show, and I have so many more things to ask him.
I've got a plug. Let's see. This Friday, we're up at Johnny's Smoke Shop in Gulf to Bay. We have Tommy Bell as our featured artist for the evening. And then, let's see, Saturday, we're at Java Cava. This Sunday, we have Crunch Cardwell down at Steep Station. So we had a pretty full weekend of events with Professor Jay's show. So St. Pete. Yeah, Steep Station downtown off of First Avenue.
Java.
Yep. Largo, Java Cava.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back, Tommy Chong. Thank you for gracing us with your interview again. We really appreciate it. We're all stand-up comedians here, and we got a lot of questions for you. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back. I'm sitting down, by the way.
We're all sitting down, too, at the moment. We're sitting down for the news. Our writer, he wanted to ask you a question, but he had to stay at work today, so I'm going to ask it for him. All right, here we go. Are you performing music still, and is there a band that you would like to jam with that is touring or that's still active?
No, and no.
No music? Performing no music?
One of the greatest things about doing comedy is that I didn't have to carry an amplifier or a guitar around.
Sure enough, yeah.
Or deal with other musicians.
Mm-hmm. And then he asked you, he wanted to know if you had a favorite new band that's out that you really like to listen to, was his second part.
No, no favorite. I just, I don't really go to too many or any music things. Once I got into stand-up, that was the end of my music thing. I was, 20 years, playing music and not talking. One of the things about being a musician is you don't have to talk.
Right.
And, I never talked. And then when I got doing comedy, a lot of my musician friends and fans didn't believe it was me. They didn't know that I could talk. But no, musically, I get everything I need off the radio or listening.
I'm the same way. I don't listen to new music. Russell had a question for you.
Yes, I was going to ask you about doing the Meth Singer. How did you like that?
It was what do you call it? It was an honor to be chosen because it was the first show, and I liked that part. And then I liked the part picking out the costume. But
cool!
Actually doing it, and I liked the music lessons. They gave me voice lessons, which obviously I needed. I really liked that part. The performance part was horrible.
Oh,
you're in the no one knows who you are.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they're heavy and they're hot. Yeah.
That's why I never watched it. I was like, all right.
I enjoy watching it. I think it's an awesome kind of concept in the show. It
was fun, but I felt like Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
Hello, Clarice.
In between shows, they put you, they isolate you.
James often performs in a mask, or he performs as a gay panda bear.
Oh, I do characters. Yeah,
And he also performs as a gorilla in a mask.
I am a gay panda bear.
Was it as much fun as hosting WWE Raw?
No, there are times when you need a mask.
I do go on stage with a mask on just so I can get away from my own persona on stage and do something different and have fun with it.
That's fun. Yeah, you're in control of that. But when you're in the Meth Singer, you get they sneak you in the place and then they sneak you out so no one knows who you are. And for someone that's been in the public eye
right
so much, we don't mind being recognized.
True, that makes sense. Sneaking around would be boring.
So Tommy, you've been afforded the ability to have many cameos or appearances. What has been your favorite cameo that you were in?
I don't really have. I got a bad memory, man. So what I did a half hour ago.
Scott Patrick, our writer, wanted to know what part have you ever turned down that you wish you hadn't, or is there a part you wish you didn't take?
Okay, I turned down the Lion King.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do Disney. I thought that because the Disney had a thing against Cheech and Chong. So when we got offered the Lion King, I said, I ain't going to do that.
Right? Didn't Whoopi Goldberg get that part?
What turned out to be like millions of dollars.
I was researching. Someone else said it's because you had a different movie going on. I was like, oh.
Well, no, I just didn't see eye to eye with Disney. I got kicked out of Disney.
You got kicked out?
For wearing a R-rated T-shirt.
I got kicked out too, but I worked there at the time. So,
what was on the T-shirt?
Mickey Mouse being buggered by.
Nice.
I like that.
They did not like that. They did not like that one.
Frig off, Disney. Right. Oh. You got a question on there you want to read?
Sure.
Christopher Wright?
I guess it's kind of relevant. I don't know if we asked this, but were there any parts that you did? You already did that, yeah. You're right. I'm a little blazed too, so it's all good.
We are all blazed. I gotta admit, I'm way too stoned right now.
I guess a good question. Hey, that sort of leads into. I guess when you're smoking, Tommy, what's your preferred method for smoking? I'm more of a bong guy, so I know that's me, but
I like joints.
All right.
I used to be, bongs. I started out with joints.
Okay, fair enough.
And then I tried everything,
Oh yeah,
the bong guy.
All right.
But then the bong. I was on Snoop Dogg's Up in Smoke tour,
and
he had a 6-foot bong.
Wow.
He invited me up on stage, and they put about an ounce of grass in it, and they fired it up And because I was on stage in front of everybody, I took the biggest hit in my life.
Of course.
I have not recovered from that yet.
Nice.
So my favorite really is I'm back to joint.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's pretty laid back, easy way to go.
I just gave Chris a bong because I just smoke joints.
Yeah, right. I appreciate it.
In Trailer Park Boys, the greatest cameo in Trailer Park Boys was when you were on.
Yes.
Out of the trailer in America. Were you guys using like a prop cannabis or you guys did the real deal?
That was real cannabis. I had
yes. Because I heard they used props in Canada when they did that.
No. Everything was real.
Nice.
They were trying to get me to smoke out, but I know better, so I kept sending it to the trailer park guy, and he kept smoking it up, man.
Rob got messed up.
It kind of ruined him too.
Chris, you got another one on there? We got a whole bunch of questions for you.
Sure. Yeah, this one kind of changes the subject a little bit, but yeah, it's knowing that comedy is a subjective thing. What's funny to some might not be funny to others. But besides Cheech, which comedian or I guess person you may have known has made you laugh the most, or I guess who you think was the funniest comedian? I guess by extension.
I guess Red Fox.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Nice.
He was the master. I saw him do a 2-hour show, and the first hour he had the people crying. They were laughing so hard.
Oh man!
And then he brought them down. He literally brought them down. Started doing material that really had people getting up and leaving the club. And he walked to the door and opened the door and said, "Thank you for coming. Enjoy your ride home." And then he went back on stage and brought the crowd up and did another hour.
Jeez, wow.
I've never seen that ever with anybody.
Yeah, that is incredible.
I've seen the best.
Wow.
I've seen the best.
All right. Wow, that's fantastic.
Now, can you tell me, please, I forgot to ask you last time about your relationship with George Harrison as far as indulging in cannabis. How is there got to be a story behind how he's your favorite smoke buddy?
No, he was the friendliest Beatle.
Nice.
I met John briefly at a party. I went into a bedroom to smoke a joint, and John Lennon was sitting on the floor behind the bed. I didn't see him. He was like on the floor, and so I offered him a joint. I was very thrilled to meet him, and he turned me down because he was having some immigration problems, as he said. And then I met Ringo. Ringo was always on either a drunk or on the wagon. He was always drying out. He wasn't a big pothead. Paul, I haven't met Paul yet. But George, I met George at a couple of parties, and I guess the party I met him at one time, because he's the guitar player. Mm-hmm. We bonded kind of, and we smoked out. We're outside, and I handed him a joint. He took a hit, and then he handed it to Tony Dow. You know who Tony Dow is?
Yeah. Leave it to Beaver.
Yeah, the Wally.
Wally.
Wow. With Wally Beaver.
And Jesus. A beetle?
And a beetle. Wow.
Yeah, so the three of us sat around, and I was just looking at Tony Dow thinking, oh, Wally, man.
Oh, a joke of the day.
Nice.
I hung with George quite a bit, a couple of times. And like I said, he was a guitar player, and he was kind of, spiritually, into that, into the meditation and spiritual stuff. Yeah, George was cool.
I'm not a Beatles fan, but the way I see it, he got lucky enough. George, he got lucky enough to hang out with you. That's the way I see it.
Right.
You're like my hero.
Well, I heard that George Harrison was liked by, was it Shankar? I forget if it was Ravi Shankar or Anushka Shankar, but he was really fascinated by the fact that George was so into the sitar and like those really psychedelic riffs and everything,
So, Tommy, my first exposure to you was That 70s Show.
Oh, yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Do you keep in touch with any of the castmates from that show?
We just shot what they call it the 90s show. I did a couple of segments from already. And what the 90s show is they're the kids from Donna and Eric.
Oh, okay.
That sounds interesting.
I'll watch that. I will definitely watch that.
And it was kind of cool because Donna was the director of the bit we did.
Oh,
she's Laura Piplin.
She's directing it.
Wow,
I gotta check that out.
It's so beautiful, except she got her hair dyed black. But we and then Kitty and Red are on the show too. It's
nice.
Just me and Kitty and Red are the ones that were taken from that 70s show.
Nice.
This one, but Yeah.
Well, they took the funniest part of the show, basically.
Yeah.
Red very much reminds me of my father. Is he like that?
Right.
Off? Like, is that a character, or is that really how this guy is?
No, not really. No, I think he's an acting teacher. Acting.
He's been in a lot of dramas.
Kurtwood Smith.
He's been in a lot of dramas.
RoboCop.
I'm going to go rogue with this question because it's been on my mind. How do you feel about all the cancellations of all the current comics? Is that the cancel culture? What is your opinion on that? Because I've been a victim of it here in little old Florida. You say one thing wrong and they say you're anti this and that. Because, comics from the 80s like Eddie Murphy and that would have a lot of trouble today, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, Eddie, let's get out there. That would be our act.
Right.
Talking about, well, that was Carlin's act. Saying things that he wasn't supposed to say. And George, that was George's act. You just got to ignore that crap. Because people are just, trying to think of things to say that people will listen to, So they'll throw everything out there, and if that's sick, okay, then we're going to go crazy. But I'll tell you, I had to stop doing a bit because I got canceled by Herbie Hancock, the great jazz.
Oh, yeah, really?
You mean the VW?
Herbie Hancock was going to appear at the pub in Reno after we had performed. And Herbie was a big fan of Cheech and Chong way back to the records. And so we did our show, and then after the show, I was talking to Herbie, and Herbie, he critiqued me for doing Blind Melon Children.
That's my.
This is what he said. He says, "Hey, man, when you do that character that you play music, it sounds great, man." And I realized, that bit really was, I don't know, it was about doing a black comic. That's what that was the bit, really. I mean, when I did the bit originally, there was no talking. I just was so drunk that I couldn't barely play I couldn't play. And at the end of the bit, I would make some kind of grunt, and the people would go crazy. But then when Cheech and I broke up, I started doing bits that I, got from like Red Fox and those people, and I do it in a black voice, Mm-hmm. Blind Melon Children, and I do bit. I say, when you're blind, there's only two kinds of women. I love women, man, but when you're blind, there's only two kinds of women: those that smell good and those that don't.
Yes,
I love them both. Stinky woman. I love a stinky woman.
Nice.
I don't do that bit. I don't do that bit anymore. But
Yeah.
I love that character.
Well, it's funny because
I'm
we
glad
actually
you didn't do that bit on my show.
right.
I didn't hear nothing.
Well, it's funny because we for movie night a couple weeks back at Java, my friends and I we were hosting a movie night, and we had Tommy Chong's second movie on, because the year before for 420 we'd done Tommy Chong's Up in Smoke, or Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. So when that part came on, we're sitting in the Kava Lounge, and fortunately we had cool friends around, but people tend to get really really touchy about that stuff. So that was my first question was like, man, how did Blind Melon Chitlins ever survive cancel culture? Like, because we were all laughing, but I'm like, man, people would just like probably just rip this apart right now, like if it came out today. But nah, it's funny.
Oh yeah.
I got a question from my.
They did.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yep. My writer Scott wants to know, what's your favorite place on earth that you've ever been to perform or just to visit, besides jail, of course. Frig off Buchanan was his tagline.
Yes.
Yeah, jail was a treat. It was in the desert. It was kind of cool. My perform Denver at the comedy club in Denver.
Denver, nice.
What's it called? The comedy workshop or something. But it's the most perfect little comedy club in the world. That's where Chappelle goes to work free.
Oh, okay.
To work out his act. It's in Denver. It's the comedy. I don't forget what it was, but it's in the basement. And the way it's set up, man, it's just a perfect comedy. You can you just start creating.
Is it Comedy Works?
Yeah, is it the Comedy Works?
I was just trying to Google it real quick. Comedy Works downtown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That is my favorite. That's where Roseanne started.
Oh wow.
When she started doing stand-up.
I will get there someday. My buddy.
Yeah, well, you love it. You love it. That's and the people and everything. That's the club, man. Love that place.
Tommy, can I ask you for a bit of advice? I have a screenplay that I'm trying to get made into a short film. It's called Lot Lizard: A Love Story. Where would you, if you were trying to start today, what would be the first steps you'd take?
If you had no funding.
Yeah.
Everybody's a movie maker now. Everybody's got a camera on, all those iPhone or whatever. So you got to do everything yourself. Just like the rappers learned that they got to sell their own records. And same as movies. The problem with showing anything to anybody now is people steal it.
Right.
Yeah, I can't buy that, but because I'm working on one that looks exactly like that. No, the material, that's gold if it works. But people. That's how we got Up in Smoke made.
So do it myself.
Just get it done yourself, bud.
Yeah.
Start hustling more.
I wrote it, and I wrote another movie that I was working on, and then when Lou Adler, realized that we were going to quit the road and do movies, then he took over and he produced it, and he installed himself as the director, which was okay, except he took too much of his share got a little bit too big.
Right.
So we parted ways, but no, you got to protect your own stuff, man. And so whatever you got, it's just like comedy, man. Same thing. Like if it's original and that, protect it, work on it, make it good. And as far as the movie goes, like Up in Smoke was our stand-up act. The one part. So do what you do best that makes you unique. And then whether you put it on, stand-up or you shoot a movie with it or whatever you do. But that's what we're trying to do. We're all looking for the gold. and so don't.
Got time for one more question for you. I'm a big wrestling fan. What was it like hosting WWE Rock? Got time for one more question for you. I'm a big wrestling fan. What was it like hosting WWE Rock? Because they don't usually have guest hosts. And you guys were the greatest guest hosts ever. That was a hilarious. Who was your favorite wrestler and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, both Cheech and I were wrestler fans. I go way back. I had a godmother that would travel around the world, and she would send me autographs of all the wrestlers of that time. And I'm talking, the 40s, 50s, those wrestlers. And back in the day, they would ride, to travel on boats. There was no jet travel.
The golden age.
So, yeah, the golden age. And so so I got turned on to wrestlers. And then I had a little friend. She was a girl, but not really a girlfriend. But her brothers were all wrestling freaks. And so I would hang with them, and they would show me all these different wrestling holds. And so when I'm fighting my buddies, I had all these holds that I could kill people with. It was fun. I love wrestling. And when we did the show itself, man, those guys were big. Oh, my God. Huge and so athletic. And very cool guy. And when I was at Gold's Gym, I used to work out at the real Gold's Gym, the first one, and there was a couple of wrestlers. Hardboiled was one guy, and we became really good friends. And just in the gym talking and that, and he'd tell me all these wrestling stories. Man, they're the best. On the road. He told me they used to travel with midget wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
And then he showed me a picture of them standing nude in the shower.
Hey, Tommy, Chris wanted to play a little jingle for you before we got 2 minutes left.
Well, no,
here.
it actually was more of just a really quick story. I wanted to tell you about this one time I was up in St. Augustine of all places, and I was day drunk, wandering around the place, wandering towards Anastasia Island, and I, of all places, came across this video arcade. And when I got in the place, I had another beer because I had to keep it going. I went into this other room. It was completely separate from the building. Ended up passing out in one of the booths. Like it was for a racing game. And, a few minutes later, I realized what happened. I wake up. I'm like, oh, crap. I pop in the bathroom to collect myself. And like they have this dimly lit scene, right, with like little flowers everywhere, like red lights, and a little tiny little CRT television with a DVD player of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. And I'm thinking... what do I do? Like, do I just hit play? So I just hit play. And then, I'm like thinking, man, this is funny. I'm just like sitting here in this bathroom, just watching this movie, just, soaking it up.
You're going to live there.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, man, all right. I'm just going to watch 5 minutes of it. And then literally like an hour later, when
that's our show, bro.
That's our show. When the weed van's going down the road, I'm like, man, I'm just enjoying the heck out of this movie. And I just wanted to share that with you because it was just one of my favorite moments watching that movie, just chilling out in a random bathroom with a TV. And it was like, man.
Thank you again, Tommy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
We had a great time.
Catch you later. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Thank you, sir.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1.
WDCF.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by NHTSA.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York, and today more than 40 million Americans are trying their best to keep cool.
Hopefully it cools off soon. I'm tired of it. I don't like when it's too hot like this.
Several states across the country are under heat advisory.